Hi, and welcome to On the Spot. My name is Ronnie Wiley. To my left is Cheryl Reno and Sherry Kendall. We'll get it right. We'll get it right here. You guys are with Indy Honor Flight. Something I've really never heard of, Indy Honor Flight. Tell us all about Indy Honor Flight.
Well, Indy Honor Flight, we take World War II veterans. We're also taking Korean and Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. all in one day.
Oh, wow.
And the veteran does not pay anything to go on this flight. There's a guardian that'll be with them, that'll travel with them that day. We take a plane that's just full of all veterans, and we go out to Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. How many years is this just, I mean, is this a national thing or just, it is? Mm-hmm. So this is the Indiana version of it. And so all veterans from Indiana that has served or have the opportunity to go to this?
Yes, you have to go on their website to indyhonorflight.org, mm-hmm. and there's guidelines, mm-hmm. but the veterans just need to get on and check the years and make sure that they qualify between the years that they are doing right now, yeah. and then they can go ahead, fill out their application, and send it in.
Wow. Absolutely, that sounds like a blast because I love DC. It's one of my favorite cities, and I'm holding right here the National World War II Memorial, which is just absolute. When I first went in 1985, this wasn't here. Went back in 2008, it was. Nighttime, this is something you got to see at night.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you say that this is a one-day thing. How early in the morning does this start?
Well, we start about 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And the veterans are supposed to arrive usually between 5:30 and 6, mm-hmm. but we've seen them as early as 3:30 when we're there.
Oh, so they're ready to go.
They're excited.
They're excited.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So you talk about it all day. So the flight, how long does it take to get there from the flight?
The flight's what, about an hour and 20 minutes?
Oh, that's
right.
bad. That ain't bad. That's like from here to Indy.
And they land at Reagan.
Just walking. They land in Reagan, and then they're met. Now, is this a low-key event when they're leaving, a low-key event when they arrive? Tell me about this whole event.
They are met at the airport, mm-hmm. and I don't want to say a whole lot about it. I don't want to give it away.
I hear you, yeah.
But then they're loaded onto motor coaches,
yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
they're escorted around by the police,
wow.
and they go from monument to monument, and they stop and have lunch, and they go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
if we're lucky, one of our veterans gets to place the wreath.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. So now when you talked about you don't want to share too much about it because this is I'm assuming that this is one of those events, the way we were talking before we went on the air, it's, Ronnie, you got to go see it. This is something that you have to see in person.
You have to see it.
Oh, wow.
And once you see it, you're addicted.
Yeah, I would imagine. And so now, do the veterans, are they aware of what exactly they're going to go through?
The veterans know that they're going to fly to Washington.
Yeah, they get marching orders a week before the flight, and it'll tell step by step what they're going to go see.
Yeah.
But it's a lot bigger than they realize.
So it's kind of like you see their faces of, and I'm sure there's probably people that's never been to D.C.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that have never been to their memorial.
Wow.
But they start the trip. Actually, on Friday evening, they have a meet and greet so that everybody going, veteran-wise and guardian-wise, and even the crew, because Indy Honor Flight everybody has a different job.
Right.
We're all one big team, but everybody has a different job. And they all meet on Friday evening for a while before the trip.
Right.
And then they're told again what time to show up Saturday morning.
They're ready to go.
And they're ready to go.
That is awesome. And we're talking World War II. We're talking people that are probably getting close to 100, that they're in their 90s.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. What's the oldest veteran that you guys experienced working with you?
Did we not just lose one of our veterans that was 101?
From here?
Not from here, but on our flight
that went
itself.
Oh, wow. 101. Wow. To be able to experience that, I guess there's no age when it comes to experiencing something like that. That's amazing. And their service, because I've been to all their memorials, such a wonderful experience. And I wasn't in the military, so I can imagine what it is for them to be honored like that after all their experience. So you got now Vietnam. So that's the cutoff for the military.
Yes, I believe 1975 is the cutoff right now.
Wow, okay. And how often does that change?
I'm not sure when they'll change that.
Wow, that's
Probably after we get all the World War II through, because we still have 900 on our waiting
Really?
list.
Wow, that's amazing.
But
Here in
there's
Indiana.
hubs all over. I mean, like there's a hub in Cincinnati, hub in Columbus,
Dayton.
Dayton, Indianapolis. I
Wow.
mean, they're trying to get everybody flown out.
So this is something that's, wow, it's like a big thank you, I would imagine.
big
Kinda like
thank
It's
you.
an
thank
awesome thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me ask about your guys' personal experience, how you got involved, and then we'll get into how someone else can get involved, because I'm excited. I'm excited. We got an event coming up later on this month, in April 27th?
April 27th.
Yeah.
Miller
yeah.
Monster Robbins is going to present the movie
Honor
their
flight.
honor
Oh, wow.
flight, so that veterans that haven't signed up can come experience the movie to see
If there's
what
something they wanna do.
happens, and then we want to get them to sign up.
Wow.
And it's open to the public also, because we're always looking for donations and
Right.
fundraisers.
Because this is no cost
Because
to
it's
them.
no cost
Yeah.
to the veterans.
Yeah, as it shouldn't be.
And a flight takes, it's about $100,000, it's a little over $100,000 for this
Oh,
one
wow,
day
just
event.
that one day event.
Yes, and none of us, this entire Indy Honor Flight crew
Is
and
volunteer.
volunteers, we're all volunteers. Nobody gets paid. Everything that gets brought into Indy Honor Flight gets spent on our veterans.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome. And you guys donate a lot of time getting up at 3:30, actually earlier, to be there at 3:30. So yeah, you got yeah. So explain to me how you got involved. I mean, Cheryl, did you have a family member that was a veteran, or?
No.
We'll
my
start
friend-
here.
We'll start
Okay,
here.
we'll start Sherry. Okay.
My
Okay.
sister lived in Washington, D.C.,
Yeah.
and she got involved in the welcoming of
Oh,
the
okay.
honor flight.
Okay.
So she called me and she's like, "You got to get involved in honor flight." And I was like, "Well, there's not really one close around here." And then she said, she called me and she's like, "Sherry, Indy Honor Flight is starting one," and that was in 2011.
Wow.
And so I said, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, you've got to put your form in and, get signed up." So I went on and did my volunteer and also did a guardian. So in 2012, September, I was paired up with a World War II veteran from Indianapolis.
Oh, wow.
And I took him on a flight to D.C. And
Kind of like a sponsorship, sort of? Okay.
Yep.
You're-
Every veteran's paired up with a guardian, and the
Okay,
guardian
okay,
pays.
wow, yeah.
The veteran flies free, but the guardian pays, and we get to experience it with our veteran. So once I did that, oh
You were
gosh,
hooked.
I was hooked.
Absolutely, yeah.
So then I started volunteering for all the flights after that, and then I was going by myself and got my sidekick here.
Oh, wow.
So I called her. I was like, "Would you do this with me?" And then
Were you
from that
skeptical at
point
first?
on,
Were you kind of like,
No, because
you-
I'm married to a veteran.
Oh, wow,
and,
okay, yeah.
You know, I thought for years that they never got what they deserved.
Oh, no, I agree.
And
I
so
agree.
I was pretty excited about it, and I went to the first one, and I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah.
Haven't missed one since.
Tell you got me excited about it. I really do. I mean, you really do. So now you mentioned something about, you said something about you went through, was it a class that you had to go through? Do you have to, I mean, how do you become a volunteer?
You go on IndyHonorFlight.org again, and there's a section there to volunteer, and you fill that out, and then they're going to check you out, and then you go to a training, and it's basically you're going over wheelchairs and etiquette, different things,
Right.
And we're awesomely happy on flight day because it's so cool.
I bet. And it sounds like, I'm feeling the excitement there. And when we talked before, I'm telling you, we talked before we went on the air, and you got goosebumps just talking about
Yeah, I got 'em now.
She got 'em now. The most simplest thing, she got goosebumps on it. And anyway, you definitely got excited for that and got me excited about it. It's got to be infectious to people who first-time veterans have not heard about it. What's your experience when you explain to veterans for the very first time?
They ask a lot of questions, and I found that they think they don't deserve it. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
now, I don't deserve that. Somebody else does.
Right.
No, they all deserve it.
Yeah.
And once they go,
they don't
and they
stop
come
talking
back.
about it.
yeah, her veteran
Still talks
still
about
talks
it.
about it.
And are they allowed to go back multiple times, or is just one, just a
one
one-time
time.
thing? Wow.
Yep.
Wow. So you get everybody involved in this. What an amazing. It's amazing. And so whenever you talk to somebody for the first time and they feel that kind of, uneasiness about everything, how do you persuade them?
You just have to talk them into
just-
it.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we had there was two of them that were in the last honor flight from Connorsville, November. October. And one of them, I had heard like 2 days before he didn't want to go, and I called him. And I was like, "You've got to go. You will not believe what you're going to go through." And now he always comes to my office now, and he's like, "Thank you for talking me into it because it's the best day of my life."
Oh, I bet.
So
I mean,
you just got to talk him into it.
And what are some of the reasons that people give to, it's just the nervousness of the long trip, the long day?
It's a long trip.
Yeah.
It's a long day. They've got medication.
Well, that's true.
What's their health like?
And you guys take care of all that, right? You take care of,
We
if they're on
have
medication?
We have medics
On the airplane.
on the airplanes.
We have
through the
medics
trip?
right with them through the whole entire day.
Wow. So they're taking
They are taken
They
care
are
of.
treated great.
an hour and 20-minute flight, like I said, is almost like a drive up to Indy, from here. So it's
Yeah.
really not uncomfortable. So again, you've been involved since 2011. How long have you been involved?
About 2013.
13.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So it took 2 years for you guys. Yeah, I love this. Is so exciting. So now, have you recruited anybody?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually have 2 new recruits that are going to training on the 10th of this month.
Oh wow. So we
April.
yeah.
Oh, excuse me. It's
Yeah.
not April yet. Get here.
Well, it is now.
I'm ready for my flight.
It is now. It's
Oh,
the
this
TV
is
world.
for
It is.
April.
Yeah, this is for April. So you guys got this now. You said something about the 13th or something. We talked about off air before.
Yeah, that's our next flight.
Your next flight's on the 13th. Wow. And so that's where's that at?
Plainfield High School is
Okay.
where they come and have their meet and greet on Friday night. And then they leave from Plainfield High School and they return to Plainfield High School.
Okay, so they go to Indy Airport.
They go to Indy Airport, and that's my job, which I absolutely love my job.
Is that to get everybody
My
from?
crew gets everybody from the buses to TSA,
Yeah.
and then when they come back from TSA, back onto
Right.
the buses.
Yeah. They don't have to take their shoes off, do they? Remember? Yeah.
You know, we had one gentleman get pulled to the side, but it was because he said he didn't give his middle name or something. He said
Oh.
it was all his fault, but they took care of that and got
Oh,
help.
sure. I'm sure they did. So, how many have you gone on, Sherry? I mean,
I've only gone on one flight.
Just one
out
flight?
to DC, but I worked
you've worked-
grounds crew.
Yeah, we work the grounds crew.
How many flights you been on?
I've not been on a flight yet.
Oh,
I would like to go on the flight when my husband goes,
when he's qualified.
but I'll have to go as someone else's guardian. Since I'm his wife, I can't
Oh,
go
you
as
can
his
be.
guardian.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be neat. And so your husband, is he a Desert Storm?
He's Vietnam.
Oh, he's Vietnam, but it's not. Okay. Well, hopefully he gets on there too. That'd be.
He will eventually.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome. So now, obviously, right here, you got the World War II memorial. And again, if you've never been out to D.C., this is right in front. Is it the north? No, it's the east side of the Washington Monument, if I remember right. It's right at the Washington Monument, World War II Memorial. Got to check that out. That's amazing. And what other memorial? Obviously, the Vietnam Wall. I'm sure you guys have probably seen so many, tearful, emotional moments of people seeing. In Korean, I love Korean. The 7-foot tall statues. I love the
yeah.
Korean. I'm sure you've seen that.
It's an emotional day.
It's very emotional.
It's something that they'll never forget. It's pretty
Yeah.
emotional to go through.
Yeah.
I was a mess as a guardian.
I bet.
I mean,
I bet.
It's overwhelming to hear and to see what those guys have gone through.
Wow, that's amazing. And then, of course, I know when I've been to the Washington or to the Vietnam, people are always looking for their friend's name, which is very emotional. Every time I go, you always see somebody doing that, and you see them just saying a silent prayer or something. Just an amazing. So, how did this first start about? How did in Indiana or the National? How did the honor flight start? I mean, what's the roots of that?
It started with a doctor in Cleveland, Ohio, I believe. Is that right, Cheryl?
He was. I don't remember
I started
where he
with
was.
a doctor in
but-
Cleveland, Ohio, and he had a patient there that was a World War II veteran, and he was talking to him saying that he had never been out to Washington, D.C., and that doctor couldn't believe he had never been to Washington, D.C. So it turned around.
Little simple things.
He got a hold of like 5 of his patients and took his own private plane with a couple buddies and flew them out there, and that's kind of how Honor Flight started, was with him doing that.
Wow.
And then Honor Flight's, it's pretty big now. I mean, we've flown.
Is it in every state?
It's not in every state yet. Is that right?
Not in every state, no.
Wow.
I'm not sure how many hubs there are. but we have flown lots and lots of veterans, but
So-
there's a lot more to fly.
So you said Dayton and Cincinnati, that's just for Ohio, or does our state cross if
They can cross.
They can go in there? Okay, yeah, wow, that's amazing. So you said that there's qualifications, and what are some of those qualifications? Is it, I mean, if they got to meet a certain health requirement to be able to go?
They have to meet certain timelines to go.
Oh, timelines, okay. Okay, so other than that, you guys take care of everything.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So again, you guys are out in D.C. What you get there, and is it pretty? I mean, how long do you stay at the monuments?
The longest monument is usually at the World War II.
Yeah.
Because if you look on the back of that picture of that one,
This one.
that's actually my group.
Oh, this is your group?
Yeah. So we all stand at the World War II Memorial, and
Yeah.
they have a picture of what they look like in the service, and then they're in their wheelchair, and so
Wow,
we
do
hold
you-
that up. And,
That is amazing.
yeah.
And wow. And do you guys make this for them?
yes,
The folks?
honor flight, Indy honor flight. I think we're the only
One that does that?
honor flight that does that.
Yeah, this is awesome.
But to see all 100 veterans standing there with that, it's really neat.
That
to
is
see.
amazing. And so only 100 can go each time, or
It's like 89,
89
92.
veterans.
Yeah.
wow, that is absolutely wonderful. Again, if you've not been out to see World War II Memorial, it's absolutely to me that's the lighting and everything at night is just just spectacular. But I encourage everybody to go see it. And now, is there any other monument you see other than the three, the Korean and the Vietnam? I like Korean too. I like that the soldiers that are 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Is there any other ones that you
In
see?
Lincoln, we'll stop at
Lincoln?
Lincoln where
Yeah.
you can walk to the three.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
because that's like right.
right.
Yeah. across
And
it,
so
yeah.
we spend about an hour and a half there as well.
Oh,
And you just
wow.
walk around with your veteran and do different things there. And then we go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Oh yes.
And that's really neat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And-
I can't wait to hear about yours when you go. I bet you're excited. You're ready to.
I'm excited, but I love what I do.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Now, let me ask a question. Is that the part of the job that you picked, or was it, do they say, okay, sure, we think you'd be good at this, or do they have a job role and you look at it and decide how do you
They kind of let you decide what you want to do, and I've done a couple other things,
Yeah,
but this is the part I just love because
yeah.
it's
Because you
so
see their excitement,
interactive,
yeah.
and you see them when they come back,
Yeah.
and they're all smiles, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how many World War II veterans come just bouncing off that bus, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, and
It's
you-
like in the morning they have more energy than I do, but
Yeah, and they're in their 90s and they get
Yeah.
more energy. Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's amazing.
That's amazing. And you obviously on your trip, you've seen that progression of, the excitement's got to be wonderful. How does somebody get involved and being a volunteer?
The main thing is to go on the website and fill out the paperwork and send it in.
Yeah.
And then they'll call you, and there's a couple training sessions up in Indianapolis. And then that's it. And there's a lot of people. I mean, our group, we have people from New Pal, lots of Connersville people.
yeah.
What's
Indianapolis, Avon.
Oh, so you guys are, we're the whole state. Indy.
Yeah, very large group. A lot of our volunteers end up coming from if they're at a homecoming.
Right.
And-
exactly what's a homecoming? Is that when they come back?
That's when they come back.
Okay.
You know, and their veterans are all excited, and
Yeah.
I won't go into a lot more of
Sure,
it.
yeah.
But those people, that's when you get the infectiousness.
Right.
We have groups that come back and work this every flight.
Yep.
Boy Scouts, the Indy bagpipers, the 500
Oh, wow.
bagpipers
Pipers
are there.
It's amazing.
The fire departments, the police departments, the state troopers.
We
But
have government officials show
Yeah.
up sometime.
Wow. That's amazing. And how many flights you guys schedule throughout the year? Or is it on certain times? Okay, we're going to have one on April 27th or April 13th. We're going to have one every month. Is it every other month or just whenever you can get the veterans?
since I've been here, we've had 2 in the spring and 1 in the fall.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's
And
good.
this year, we're so fortunate to be able to have an extra flight. We have 4 flights this year.
Oh, wow.
Because the Avon Rotary Club put on a very large fundraiser, and they were able to raise enough money
To get
to
another
pay for an entire flight.
That's
So
amazing.
that was really exciting.
Nice.
That's amazing. And is there anywhere somebody could donate? Is it on the website where you can donate right there?
Yes, it's right on the
Yeah.
website.
Wow.
And if people want to donate, they're welcome to come to the program at Miller Moster Robbins and see the Indy Honor Flight movie on the 27th.
Yeah.
The movie's at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they can ask questions. Veterans can come and ask questions. We can get veterans signed up that day, because I'd like to see a lot more of our area. We have a significant amount of veterans in the Whitewater Valley area.
Right.
And I would love for them to be able to go on honor flight if they
Right.
qualify.
Right.
And Steve Robbins and George Moster are big fans of this because they've seen a homecoming
Right.
and they wanted to do something. So they called Sherry and I and said, we want to do this. We're like, okay.
Yeah, right.
You know, so thank you to them for doing this for us. It's a great way for us to promote Indy Honor Flight.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I think a lot of the veterans that have gone from this area will be there at the movie as well. So
Oh, good.
it'll be nice for
And they'll be sharing their
they'll be
experience.
sharing their
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
and
You know, it's amazing when you talk about that there's 900 that haven't gone on yet. I mean, it's amazing how many veterans that we do have out in not just our area, but, you know, the entire state, and still out there that, and you talked about it earlier, Cheryl, you talked about nobody really does so much for the veterans. And this is something where, you know, we can give back.
Exactly.
And obviously people are worried about tax expenses. A 501c3, that's, you know, tax write-off. Go on that website, go to the 20. Is there any other, the 27th of April, is there any other informational stuff that you guys have that's coming up later on this year that if somebody can't make it on the 27th, that they can go to learn more about?
they're always welcome to come to a homecoming. Our homecoming for this flight will be at Plainfield High School at 8 o'clock
At night.
at night on
Wow.
the 13th. And then we have another flight in May, and that's listed on there on the
think it's
website,
May 18th.
May 18th.
Yeah.
And that will be at Decatur High School. And kudos to those high schools because they do so much for us.
Wow.
They take great care of us and our veterans.
That's awesome.
But it's a wonderful organization and it's so infectious. I tell everybody, there goes
I know,
my
I'm seeing
goosebumps.
it's amazing. I mean, I'm seeing it here. I'm
It's-
thinking we got too much air on, but no, you're just,
No,
yeah.
it's the best thing in the world that I volunteer for.
I could see your guys' passion, Cheryl. I mean, I'm getting a tear in your eyes. You guys are getting, I mean, it's just, it really has infected me. Now, you talked about coming to the homecoming. Anybody can come to the homecoming?
Anybody can come to the homecoming, and you need to come see it because it's amazing. And
yeah, just to see those guys come back, I mean, you have a chance to tell them thank you.
Right,
And
sure.
it's so, and they are so appreciative, and they'll have tears in their eyes, and they're crying, and
Yeah.
they just have never seen somebody go up to them and thank them like that, like they did that day.
I can't wait to Cheryl goes on her flight. You know, her and her husband, they're going to come back even more excited than ever. I mean, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you guys do. And again, you've been a part of this 2011, you've been a part of this 2013. And again, I guess the theme that I get from you guys is that you never expected it to be like this.
Nope. Oh, it's neat.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty biased. I think that our Indy Honor Flight, we really go above and beyond. We do a lot, and it's just really cool, and it's just a great group of people, starting from Dale, he's our head honcho,
Yeah.
all the way down. And I've never been with an organization where everybody's key focused. It's all about the veterans.
Right, yeah.
You know, and it's remarkable. It's awesome for the veterans, and if you come out and see it, I guarantee that you're going to get the bug too. It's just an amazing event.
You can start meeting us at 3:30
I'm going to hold it to
a.m.
you. I want to hold. Now, you don't drive up there. You get a hotel the night before, right?
I started staying on Friday nights and Saturday nights.
Yeah, I was going to say,
'cause
yeah, it's a long day.
It's a long day.
What do you do when you're out there? Do you just set up for homecoming while they're gone? I mean, is that what you do?
Well, we have a break in between. The
Yeah.
crew does. Now, the people that are in D.C., they don't,
Oh, yeah,
but
right,
we
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And then you come back. So usually you can't sleep Friday night because
Right.
you're as excited as they
Right,
are.
yeah, yeah.
So you're up early Saturday, so usually we take a nap,
Shop.
shop a little bit,
Yeah.
or do something else, and then
Euchre? Anybody play euchre?
yeah. Part of our group, we've been fortunate that we all meet for dinner before
yeah.
we go back to work
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and talk about the day and talk about where the planes are and
That's awesome.
did they leave yet? But
And we start about 6 p.m. and we get done
we get-
midnight, after midnight.
Wow. And so you do the same thing as what she does with
Yeah,
it.
she's the
That's-
boss.
You're the boss.
I'm not the boss.
She's the boss, and you've been here longer, so yeah, that's awesome. Well, I tell you, if you haven't got to feel the infectiousness of this, I know I am, and I'm excited for that. One thing here, this is when you handed this to me. This was so nice. Free kisses for the veterans. They get their free kisses there. It's neat. Indy Honor Flight. Nothing in life is free, yet this experience is paid in full by their service.
Yep.
So their service is what paid for this, and that should be honored. And I'm glad that you
wonderful.
guys are part of this.
So
yeah.
neat.
Yeah, I just absolutely think this is awesome. And I tell you, it says right here on the website, indyhonorflight.org to get started. I got a phone number in here as well. Any final words? We're wrapping up here. Any final words? I mean, I don't know how much more you guys could say about how tremendous this is. Not just for, and you guys aren't even going on the flight. You're doing this for other people. You know, which is amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's probably the word of the day that we will have for this show is this is just awesome.
really
Sherry,
is.
I'm sure this is probably something that when you started, it probably far exceeded.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just, you just need to come to a homecoming.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
encourage
Because
a lot of
once you
people to
come, you'll be hooked. Because it's
Yeah.
really pretty special.
Absolutely awesome.
And my dad, he got called just recently, so I'm hoping
so he's getting ready to go?
that he gets to go in May.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah.
that'd be great.
We
That'd
know
be
who your
great.
dad is. We love your dad. So, and hopefully he gets to go. Now, you won't be able to sponsor him, right? Just like Cheryl's not being able to sponsor her.
You can't, a spouse can't.
Oh, but you can do your.
But my sister is going to be his guardian.
Oh, wow. So
So-
she's going to get ready to go.
Yep, she started us in it, so it's only
Oh,
right.
she's the one. Yeah,
That's
I guess
right.
you're right. Yeah. Well, you can't
So-
go. You can't go on the side or anything.
Oh, we could probably fly out.
We could
maybe.
probably fly out
Oh,
there.
you're gonna meet them there. Yeah, get there a day before. Yeah. Now you talked about what they do in D.C. So when they meet them in D.C., it's like a homecoming when they arrive too, sort of like an event. Wow. And then they're.
It's a very, very special day.
It's a special
gosh.
day.
I tell you, that's
Sign
amazing.
up and be a guardian like I did.
I tell you guys got me excited. I mean, her goosebumps, and you're just looking at your guys' eyes, how excited, how passionate you are about this. Such a wonderful thing. Again, I can't get over the saying, yet nothing in life is free, yet this experience has been prepaid in full by your service. That is just amazing,
Yeah.
and that's such a truth because our veterans, they get lost in the shuffle sometimes, I think.
They do.
You know,
They do. It's a
get
great
lost in-
way to thank them.
Yeah, what a fantastic way. Again, go to indyhonorflight.org and get started. That's what I probably plan on we'll be doing.
Yeah, and come on the 27th to Miller Masters at 3 o'clock to see the movie
And check that out.
experience some of the veterans that have actually gone.
Yeah, is there anything on YouTube that we can maybe check out? Anything about?
There is different on YouTube. There are different things that you can check out. Just
out.
punch in Honor Flight.
Yeah, Honor Flight,
And if you
yeah.
punch in Indy Honor Flight, there was a segment like
It won't
of
ruin it for me,
mine,
will it? Yours will be on there?
2012.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
It won't ruin it, will it? Maybe not. I tell you, sometimes you know how it is. Some of the
Just
things.
come
Yeah,
experience
come experience it.
it.
Right? Yeah. Definitely got to. As a wrap up, I told you this girl is at 30 minutes is quick. Yeah,
Quick.
we only got like 45 seconds to go. So any final words?
Just come out to Miller Master Robbins on April
27th.
and see the movie.
Yeah.
You'll be hooked.
Anything from you, Cheryl?
I just want to say thanks to our veterans because,
Very much so.
and thanks to this organization because, like I said, it's truly the best thing that I tell people, it's the best thing that I volunteer for.
Absolutely. God bless you guys. I feel the excitement. I know the guys back here feel the excitement. That's it. That wraps it up for this month's edition of On the Spot. We'll see you next month.